If you're dealing with elevated blood sugar or poorly controlled blood pressure, it is crucial to understand one fundamental truth. The issue is rarely limited to laboratory test results alone. In most situations, it stems from everyday behaviors repeated over time. High glucose levels and hypertension do not emerge abruptly. They're the outcome of a gradual and silent metabolic imbalance shaped by dietary patterns, physical inactivity, sleep quality, stress exposure, and daily routines that often go unnoticed. Current scientific research demonstrates that metabolic dysfunction typically begins years before a formal diagnosis is made. One of the earliest and most significant alterations is insulin resistance. This occurs when the body's cells become less responsive to insulin, the hormone responsible for transporting glucose from the bloodstream into cells for energy production. To compensate for this reduced sensitivity, the pancreas increases insulin output in an attempt to keep blood sugar within normal limits. For a considerable period, standard blood tests may still appear normal, concealing the underlying metabolic stress. As time passes, this compensatory response becomes unsustainable. The pancreas gradually loses its ability to meet the rising insulin demand. Insulin responsiveness continues to deteriorate, and blood glucose levels begin to increase. This explains why many individuals are surprised when they're diagnosed with prediabetes, type 2 diabetes, or hypertension. In reality, these conditions did not develop overnight. They progressed silently over many years, sometimes even decades. During this phase, symptoms such as persistent fatigue, weight gain, increased abdominal fat, mental fog, and frequent cravings for sugary foods often emerge, even when routine lab values still fall within reference ranges. One of the most consistently supported nutritional strategies for improving blood sugar regulation is increasing dietary fiber intake. Fiber plays a vital role in slowing carbohydrate digestion and absorption, which helps prevent abrupt rises in post-meal glucose levels. Numerous studies associate higher fiber consumption with lower fasting glucose, enhanced insulin sensitivity, improved hemoglobin A1C values, and a reduced likelihood of developing type 2 diabetes. Beyond glucose control, fiber is essential for gut health, which is now recognized as a central component of metabolic regulation. A balanced gut microbiome helps modulate inflammation, insulin signaling, appetite regulation, and immune responses. When dietary fiber is fermented by beneficial intestinal bacteria, short-chain fatty acids are produced. These compounds support metabolic balance, improve glucose handling, and help reduce chronic low-grade inflammation, a key contributor to insulin resistance and cardiovascular disease. A dietary pattern centered on whole foods such as vegetables, legumes, whole grains, and low glycemic index fruits forms the foundation of this approach. Whole grains like oats and quinoa provide both soluble and insoluble fiber, contributing to more stable blood sugar levels while supplying important nutrients such as magnesium, which plays a role in glucose metabolism. Legumes, including beans, lentils, and chickpeas, combine fiber with plant-based protein, promoting fullness and minimizing post-meal glucose fluctuations. Red berries, such as strawberries, blueberries, and blackberries, are rich in antioxidant compounds like anthocyanins, which research suggests may enhance insulin sensitivity, reduce oxidative stress, and support cardiovascular health. Physical activity represents another highly effective and well-established strategy for improving metabolic function. During muscle contraction, glucose can be taken up by muscle cells independently of insulin. As a result, exercise lowers blood sugar even when insulin sensitivity is compromised. Both aerobic activities and resistance training have been shown to decrease fasting glucose, improve insulin action, lower triglyceride levels, and support healthier blood pressure values. Resistance training deserves particular emphasis because increasing muscle mass enhances long-term glucose utilization. Skeletal muscle is one of the primary tissues responsible for glucose storage and use. The greater the amount of metabolically active muscle tissue, the more efficiently the body can regulate blood sugar over time. This becomes increasingly important with aging, as muscle mass naturally declines while insulin resistance tends to increase. Blood pressure regulation is closely linked to metabolic health and insulin function. Chronically elevated glucose and insulin levels can damage blood vessels, promote systemic inflammation, and impair nitric oxide production, a molecule essential for proper blood vessel relaxation and circulation. Dietary patterns rich in fruits, vegetables, fiber, and healthy fats are consistently associated with improved endothelial function, reduced arterial stiffness, and more stable blood pressure readings. In contrast, frequent consumption of ultra-processed foods high in refined sugars, unhealthy fats, and sodium places significant stress on the cardiovascular system. These products contribute to oxidative damage, inflammation, insulin resistance, fluid retention, and hormonal disruption, all of which negatively affect both glucose regulation and blood pressure control. It is also important to address a common misunderstanding. Carbohydrates themselves are not inherently harmful. The primary issue lies in carbohydrate quality, portion size, and how they are combined with other foods. Highly refined carbohydrates that are rapidly absorbed trigger sharp glucose spikes and require substantial insulin responses. Conversely, fiber-rich carbohydrates consumed alongside protein and healthy fats slow digestion, promote steadier glucose release, enhance satiety, and support better metabolic balance throughout the day. Sleep quality and stress regulation are equally critical components of metabolic health. Chronic sleep deprivation and prolonged stress elevate cortisol levels, which can raise blood sugar, increase blood pressure, and worsen insulin resistance. Scientific evidence consistently links insufficient sleep to higher rates of obesity, diabetes, hypertension, and cardiovascular disease, underscoring the importance of restorative sleep within a comprehensive health strategy. Alongside lifestyle modifications, certain natural supplements have been studied for their potential to support glucose balance and cardiovascular function. Fiber-based formulations, plant-derived antioxidants, minerals, and specific micronutrients may help improve insulin sensitivity, support vascular health, and reduce oxidative stress when incorporated into a healthy routine. It is essential to emphasize that supplements are not replacements for healthy behaviors, but rather supportive tools that may enhance results when combined with proper nutrition, regular physical activity, adequate sleep, and consistent daily habits. Ultimately, scientific evidence is clear. Effective control of blood sugar and blood pressure does not rely on extreme diets, quick fixes, or miracle products. It is achieved through sustainable, evidence-based choices, prioritizing fiber-rich whole foods, minimizing ultra-processed products, maintaining regular physical activity, managing stress, protecting sleep quality, and understanding health as an interconnected system. Small, consistent changes maintained over time can lead to profound improvements in metabolic health and significantly reduce long-term disease risk. Helpful resources and recommended supplements that can support blood sugar control and improve nutrition are available in the channel description or pinned comments. OCH